The first polls are about to close in one of the most important elections in our lifetime.
Can Donald Trump win 4 more years in the White House, or can Joe Biden pull off a historic victory?
The eyes of the world are on this election, and both candidates have spent the last 48 hours in a final dash for votes. Donald Trump ended his campaign with a rally in Michigan, a state he won 4 years ago by the narrowest of margins. He then headed back to the White House, where he'll give his verdict on the results as they come in. Joe Biden was in Ohio and Pennsylvania, Midwest states that may hold the key to this election. He's enjoyed a lead in the polls for months, but that will count for nothing if his supporters don't turn out.
Here in America, voters have been standing in line since dawn to have their say in an election that has split this country. It looks like turnout will be up on last time, despite the coronavirus pandemic that has killed more than 200,000 Americans. Jon Sopel and Nick Bryant are with the president and his rival.
I'll be live at the White House, where the president is planning a party for 400, whether it will be a celebration or a wake.
White House 33 years ago, but is 2020 his moment? At the age of 77, has his time finally come?
Our correspondents will be live from all the key battleground states in this vast country, including Clive Myrie, who's in Pennsylvania.
So many of the roads that could lead to the White House for Joe Biden and Donald Trump run through Pennsylvania. Its 20 electoral college votes could put either man over the top. So all eyes will be on the Keystone State, won by Donald Trump in 2016 by less than 1% of the vote.
Tina Dahili will have regular news updates for us throughout the night. At the touchscreen, keeping track of the votes as they stack up, Christian Fraser.
This is how it finished 4 years ago, and this is the magic number we need to keep in mind. 270 electoral college votes or more will give one of these two men the White House. We will track the vote as it comes in east to west. We will focus in on those crucial battleground states, and I will project for you the best route that these two men have to the White House. In a few minutes' time, we will wipe the slate clean. We are ready for the results to come in.
And we'll be joined by a team of election experts and strategists from both parties to help us interpret the numbers and discuss what the outcome means here in the United States and, of course, around the rest of the world as well.
Tonight will be a watershed, a profound moment of history.
So join us for all the excitement of election night in America here on the BBC.
So, Katy, an extraordinary election campaign, fought in a pandemic, both candidates over 70, in that age group most vulnerable to the virus. One of them catches it. The West Wing of the White House becomes an epicenter of the epidemic. Another candidate seems to spend most of his time in a basement. Outside, America is divided as never before since the Vietnam years, but tens of millions of Americans have gone to the polls to vote in this election.
Yeah, America's gone to the polls 59 times, Andrew, since the founding of this nation. They've done it in peacetime, they've done it in war, they've done it in depression, they've done it in prosperity. But this election, it certainly feels completely unique. It has at the center of it, of course, Donald Trump, who has made this presidency about him, who has become a source of fascination right around the world. And this election tonight really is a referendum on one person. It's a referendum on Donald Trump, and we will see whether the Americans decide to give him another 4 years in the White House or whether they decide that 4 years was enough.
There's great concern, nervousness across America. Illinois and Pennsylvania have mobilized the National Guard, but it must be said, in voting today so far, there's been no real trouble at all. It's been as normal, pretty peaceful and so on. Let's hope it stays that way. Let's go now to the BBC's North America editor, Jon Sopel. He's at the White House in Washington, D.C. Jon, what's the mood in the Trump camp as the polls start to close?
I think nervous, and I don't know any politician who has never been nervous when the polls are about to close. I think there is a degree of apprehension, but I'm also sensing that there is some relief and happiness that the red wave that Donald Trump promised would emerge on polling day has indeed emerged. So we went into this election with the early voting, staggering numbers, some 100 million people having voted early, which was thought to have given Joe Biden an edge in some of these key races that I'm sure you and Katy will be talking about throughout the night, but that in Pennsylvania and in Florida and in some of the other key states, it is very, very tight indeed, that the people have come out to vote, and maybe that is giving them some relief. One of Donald Trump's key advisors has done a call with reporters, and what he's told us is that Donald Trump is feeling better about this race tonight than he was about the race in 2016. Now, that may be talk. We don't have data yet, but that's the mood music.
Thanks, John. We'll be back to you a lot.
We are all waiting for that data, and a reminder, of course, that some of the votes will be counted fast and some of them will be counted more slowly because so many were sent in by post because, of course, of the pandemic. So we all have to be very patient tonight. Nick Bryant is at the Biden headquarters in Delaware. Nick, Joe Biden's tried to become president twice before and hasn't got there. Do they feel that third time's a charm?
I've been speaking to one of his most senior advisors, Katy, and he is supremely confident. I'm astonished about how openly confident they are that Joe Biden will become the president-elect. They're not making any attempt to conceal it, despite the false prophecies that came out of the Clinton camp 4 years ago at precisely the same time in the evening. And they're looking at states like Georgia, and they're confident of a state like Georgia. Georgia hasn't gone Democrat since 1992. They're even talking about the possibility of winning Texas. Texas hasn't gone Democrat since Jimmy Carter in 1976. I don't think they're confident of winning Florida. I think they regard that as a toss-up, but they're happy with the numbers they are seeing in North Carolina, in Arizona, and those three key Rust Belt states, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. Like I say, given what happened 4 years ago, given that the Hillary Clinton team was saying the same thing, I'm astonished at how confident they are being. But when I said that to the senior advisor, he said, well, I've got no reason not to be confident.
Well, I think that if they are that confident this early on, then we don't know whether they are seeing early data. And this is something that happens, Andrew, is you get kind of mixed messages from the campaigns at this stage in the evening, right? They are both trying to spin the numbers as they see them, and we will be reporting the results as they come in. We won't be reporting the spin as it comes in, but we will be giving you the results. And again, patience, because, Andrew, this is such an unusual election with so many votes sent in by mail and so many different states counting those votes in different ways. Some states we may have to wait several days to get a final.